Now, what we got here is a situation that's almost 2 months old, where a young man was stopped by 5 black officers under a suspicious traffic stop that it does not appear on any of the cams throughout the city or on their body cams. In this is a special unit in a historical, predominantly black community where Martin Luther King was slayed less than, I'd say, 200 yards from where Martin Luther King was murdered at. Are you listening?
Oh, yes.
So these individuals were in caretaker of a grave site where it's supposed to be nonviolence, but this nonviolence does not adequate to police brutality. The same police who helped kill Martin Luther King, right? Now these brothers killed this brother, then refused to give him medical attention because they're a jump out unit, the Cobras.
Wow.
Come to find out after they opened it up that one of the brothers then already violated and the police had already covered it up with a judge.
Wow.
Who was on the union's payroll. This all black people. No different than Clayton County. It's Clayton County all over again. In doing so.
2023.
Right. Okay. Not only is the chief of police taunting, don't have no violence, don't have no this, but come to find out, she the union president for the Law Fraternity of Law Enforcement. It gets deep. Right? They kill this boy. They try to hide it. Then the minute they get out, because it's another tape, all of a sudden they find all these tapes. But he in the hospital and he dies. So the woman, she already see it's a problem. So she fired all 5 of them. And she started doing damage control because they got history.
Wow.
They got history. Right? So the nation is in uproar. They're marching all over the place. I'm surprised you ain't seen it. They didn't call out the National Guard. They scared that every city in America gonna burn down. It's all over the news.
Wow. No, but I was under the weather for the last few days, you know, and I just kind of laid back and did some maintenance work, straightened up. I didn't put my nose out into what's happening.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Well, I'm back now.
I'm on the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the ground because I live for this. So you know I'm paying attention. So I'm telling you, Lance, I don't know what I'm going to do. I wish I had to research this shit. I'd do this full time. I really would. So what we got here is a situation where that everything that I said is coming true. That
you're right.
Joe Biden, now he in such trouble. He didn't call. All of a sudden, they putting in lies that he was for reform. In the next 3 weeks, you will hear more lies about how Joe Biden was down to stop police brutality. He was down to do this. He might even sign an executive order just to keep the peace because it's going to violence. We're looking at almost 13 officers dead.
Wow.
Okay. In Memphis alone, they didn't have 3 killings
what?
Of officers.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. You mean I've been missing this?
Yes, Lance. I told you what's been going on. I keep calling you. I keep sending you shit.
Yeah. Well,
I live for this
sleeping.
Shit.
I think you called. I was sleeping. It was like 1:30 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I was already knocked out. I had my ringer down, but you know, like I said, I'll tell it. People know it. I had a severe case of diarrhea, man.
That's why
I was so out of it, and I'm still recuperating and rehydrating. So I said, let me come back tonight, like I'm doing now, and we're going to get this up. But I'll continue on with everything as I've been.
Better. It get better. DeSantis then devolved into Hitler. He burning books. He stopping cultural acknowledgement. He want to turn Florida into his own country. And he didn't pick the fight and the niggas want to fight.
Wow.
Oh, it's getting wild here in America. It's getting wild. And we're on the verge of revolution. It may not be violent, but it's sure gonna be guerrilla. You can believe what I'm trying to tell you.
On all levels. And then we have
on all levels.
This whole C-19 coming back, and it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm. And see, like you believe in Ukraine, and you believe that them little motherfuckers in Ukraine can do shit. Guess what? Almost 13.4 black people who tired of your shit could do. Cousin Bloods and shown hands. The Muslims then got tied. Okay, don't let me bring in the blue and red defense force, because they already got beef with your boys in blue, and that's real talk. Don't let me bring in the blue and red defense force who already got beef with the boys in blue. Now, you don't have to be a layman to understand what I just said. That's real talk. Because that's the point we at. And using these 5 black officers to put the white officers in line is a cagey thing to do. Is a smart thing to do, because we've always been the foe guard for social change. All right, so they can string these brothers up. That's what I'm getting ready to say.
Right.
I'm begging these crackers to string them up. I'm begging them crackers. You think I'm playing? Wait till I do my plea. I'm gonna do my plea, and damn who mad, damn who cares. They killed my brother on the word of a white man law. The penalty is death. Because that's what you gave that boy. That's what you deserve. My Bible said eye for eye and tooth for tooth.
Well, you know me, with all of this going on, it was January 26, 1989 in Jamaica, Queens, where I was beat down by 11 police officers. And I want to give a big shout out to Neil Frazier, who sent me a note, not a voicemail, but a text message. It says, man, this must be something for you. So maybe it's a good thing that I didn't get a chance to really see this part of it, but I will dive into it. But the little bit of the fumes that I caught inhaling of this, it always brings me back to mind, on what happened, where I was pulled over and they said that I had, what was it that they said? That I didn't have insurance. Well, I had traded in an older black Buick, for a newer black Buick, and it was an 89, and it was brand new. Yes. And there's no way I could have driven off, the lot without total coverage, because it's not my car yet. I'm paying a note. So a female officer got on the right side named Tracy Monty, and short female. She told me why they stopped me. And I said, well, listen, I have all my credentials here. This is a brand new vehicle. If you want to look in the glove compartment, I'll reach for it. I'll show you everything. And I said that I traded it in. That's why it came up on your computers as not having insurance, because it probably lapsed. I traded it in and let it lapse. But it was a black Buick that I traded in. They didn't look to see the make and model. See, they see another black Buick, so they thought it was the same vehicle. And so she said, it's okay, you can go. And then on the left side, there's this guy, Benningen. His last name was Benningen. He's banging the door with the stick, cursing me out. Get the F out the car. I get out, put your hands behind your back. I said, what, are you arresting me? He said, yeah, goddamn right, I'm arrested. And shoved my head in the top of the car, put a dent in the top of the car. Then all of a sudden, 9 other officers come in several different cars and just jumped me. And I think they knocked me down in a squat position. And I heard that I got up with 4 of them on my back. So I got to the back of the vehicle. They put me face down, grabbing my nuts, punching me in the face while in a chokehold that's killed many people, and grabbing my hands and pulling it back. So it's funny how on this same date, around the same time, all of this is jumping off almost like an anniversary. So, things like this, like for me, I tasted it. Being in a chokehold and getting punched in the face at the same time for a couple of minutes is no joke. They punched me until my eyes were closed, lip busted up. You know, the funny thing about it is I had a Public Enemy shirt on, sweatshirt.
Oh,
Yeah. So
that will draw heat.
Well, I mean, I had a coat on, and they couldn't see that. But afterward, you know, when I was in the cell, that's what it was. They brought me to the precinct, the 103 precinct, and then they brought me down to the Queen's house, and they said that I assaulted Tracy Monty, kicked her, and all of that. Put the charges on me: assaulting the officer, resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, and you know, all the other stuff. Drive with no insurance. They said, but I had it, so they cooked that up. And when I was in the precinct, they were sitting back laughing, talking about Benedict. Oh man, I'm gonna get a good vacation for this one. And Tracy Monty had a limp. She said, "Boy, you sure could kick." And everybody laughed. I didn't touch that woman, so I know what that's like. And still, I went on to come to Florida and get involved in corrections and stuff and everything. That didn't stop me. But what I'm saying is that, to me, if you ask me, after all of that I've seen, you have, I know personally some good cops, so I have to say that I've grown up with, that stuff wouldn't be around them because the organized bad officers wouldn't do those things around them because they have the integrity to not let that happen. You see what I mean? Now, I just feel that it's an organized thing. It's some kind of sub fraternity. It's some kind of sub order operating under what you see on the outside. This is a whole different world of things, black and white, all races, systematically killing us off. And when you see how judges and, you know, sergeants and lieutenants and captains can cover for people like that, so organized, and when something jumps off like that, you realize you're pulling something that's like a long snake that just keeps getting pulled out of the ground. You're like, wait a second, this has been going on. So what about the people who don't have lawyers or the intelligence or the resources to fight something like this, and how it works against you? I'm telling you, it is such a relief on that level to be out of America after what I've been through, because for many years after that, self-diagnosed, it's already obvious. I have PTSD behind that, man. The trauma, lack of sleep, freaking out when you're seeing cops, thinking you're going to die. You know,
we have, excuse me.
Yeah.
We have almost 13 million Black Americans and approximately a offshoot of a little less than 2.3 million Afro-Americans. The Afro-American is accustomed to this behavior.
Yes.
To give you some enlightenment on your question, why this goes so far up the scale, why
next thing I know, he's
looking like it's a subculture, why all these questions need answers to. This has been this way, just as you remarked.
Exactly.
But we're not keeping in mind our political structure in America makes it this way. When judges and prosecutors and police chiefs and some sheriffs have to be elected or appointed, and the union is allowed, and I'm talking the loyal fraternity of law enforcement, black and white, just alike. They may have different colors and label, but they're all one and the same. When they have lobbying powers, when their paid union dues are used with lawyers to create laws against the people, when this organization, the Loyal Fraternity of Law Enforcement, has their own flag and have military-style funerals for fallen so-called heroes and warriors, but do not want to disclose the background of these heroes and warriors. When we see 5 Black officers who are used as the test case to decide how to reel in the white clan called the Loyal Fraternity of Law Enforcement, our government is fully aware. Joe Biden is fully aware that the Ku Klux Klan, the white supremacists, has walked into these unions, have lawyered up, and has a bag to destroy Black America, using their troops as occupying forces in primarily minority-based communities. terrorizing and distributing drugs that they collect under their own war on drugs. All these things are true. They're no longer in the dark, but these 5 black officers is the true test case of what is going to occur in moving forward. The charges that these 5 officers are facing are higher charges than any white officer had to face. The list is so heinous, from kidnapping, oppression, to terrorists. The city of Memphis, the home of the spirit of Martin Luther King, has broken the almighty covenant. Brother killing brother on half of Mr. Child. And doing it in their own minds under the letter of the law. This is for each and every black person who has been traumatized by the police, have been abused by the police, who have been lied on by the police, falsely accused, put drugs in their car. This you have to pay attention to, because your skin, your kin, is the test case on whether or not they continuously kill your ass in the streets. Somewhere along the line, you must breathe the same breath that your mothers and fathers breathe. You must walk in the dirt that they carry, and pray someday you knock it off your feet. You have no choice. If you look to the right, like the old Negro from the spiritual of a preacher would say, and you ask your neighbor, I'm tired. Enough is enough. We don't have to burn down our neighborhood, but we sure have to burn down your memory of white supremacists and your trickery ass ways. And if it means that we string these 5 brothers up from the highest oak tree, then their blood is truly sacrificed so you can stop killing my children in the streets. These Negroes, this shameful piece of trash that their families have put upon the earth, who have shame of their own color, that they would kill for Mr. Charlie and his morbid way of life, are more deserving to be called strange fruit who hang from trees. And while you're at it, help me string these Negroes up. Help me see this fruit swing in a tree. Because if one thing a black man don't condone is killing his brother for Mr. Charlie's pleasure. Because all that was, that's all that was. So, we look at America for what it is. We look at the Afro-American, 5 Afro-American, not one black man in the bunch. That's why I say swing them niggas up, string them up, swing them high. And while you're at it, give me the reins of the mule so I can move it down the road. Because most sweetest sound will be him swinging in the wind. That right there, I'll go to that picnic. Because any brother, if I might be familiar to call them that, would kill their brother for Mr. Charlie's pleasure, is no deserving of my help, my eyes, my ear, of my tongue. Now, Lance knows that this is my views.
Mm-hmm.
I have not hid it to my bastion, my county, my state, my nation, or the globe that I traveled as a young man. But this, among all the bonfires, is the greatest shame in 365 days a year of Black history. I understand we take the good, the bad, and the ugly. But God forgive me, God damn it, no more, no more, no mas. Swing them niggers up from the highest oak tree that the Lord would put in the ground to sprout seed of freedom. Those who take offense to my choice of words and description, how about you suck the bottom of my ass? Those who feel the same way that I do, then help me with the rope to put these race traitors in the wind. By any means possible, it is time to get rid of those Afro Americans who would sell their people out for Mr. Charlie's pleasure. There is no forgiveness to ask God for the things to those who have done wrong to their people. There is no forgiveness, and there is no quarter. So hang 'em high and hang 'em long. I ask the judge, hang 'em high and hang 'em long, so they can sit and ponder how they turn their back on their family and their kin and their color. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I'm with you. I say it publicly.
It's a shame, Lance. It truly is.
It is.
And when we look at Memphis and how the powers to be are addressing this issue, they offer the olive branch of old Negro spirituals that have been trampled on from coast to coast. And these are empty words that they offer of peace to those who do not want peace. I was once told by an individual that sometime is not in his right mind, but shares a conscious thought. And he has said, how do you deal with an ignorant nigger? I questioned it deeply, trying to look for the middle ground, and then it dawned on me. Equally ignorant. That is the only way to deal with an ignorant nigger.
That's right.
Equally ignorant.
That's right.
So, everybody put your pennies and nickels together, because the cost of prosecuting these individuals is going to be high. So, to help Mr. Charlie, I'm going to offer the first fundraiser, not in defense, but the prosecution of these Bojangles. All those who want to help me fund the destruction of Mr. Bojangle. Yes, these are hard words to speak of one's brethren. No, these are not my brothers. My brothers wouldn't have did nothing like that. Okay, these are facsimiles of Mr. Charlie's slave patrol. So, in the fighting of white supremacists, we're going to take a collection. We're going to have a telethon. And I know you don't find that amusing, but I do. Because you must look at laughter. You must look at some type of hope when it comes down to behavior like this. It is so sad. So very sad.
Mm-hmm.
In that, Lance, I must depart. I have great research on how this trial is going to go. We must keep this in our people's face.
Right.
If we want police brutality to stop, we must address the Black Congressional Caucus and push the issue. You must, in the 96 predominantly Black areas, the major cities, that the former Speaker of the Black Congressional Caucus is now the mayor of San Francisco, has united all these Black mayors together to address the issue of the homeless, to address the issue of police brutality. Ms. Bass, will you address this issue of brother killing brother? That the terrorism that the loyal fraternity of law enforcement and their occupation of our communities have spread to our own people, that our people are killing our own people on behalf of Mr. Charlie's pleasure. This must be addressed. And Joe Biden had reached out. So empty words, so little, so late. But Alzheimer's will make you forget what time of day it is. No slight upon the elderly, but some say he is out of place. But this individual who is viewing this heinous act, he called himself a president who's made derogatory statements about my people, have even went as far as even accused my people of unfairly inheriting their color by not voting for him. But let's see what he do as he panders the door as they put him on the street or in a rest home. Because he sure coming to pander to you. He is coming to pander to a dumb Negro near you. And when he panders to this dumb Negro near you, you turn your back upon that Negro, that fool, that idiot, that blind dog who is not even worthy of Christ spitting upon the ground and making clay and putting it in his eyes so he can see. Because it's a waste of your time. Because you cannot come to common ground with two fools, especially fools who can't see. This is your boy, Mr. Political. Yes, it is short. Yes, by no means was it sweet. But you must always rest assured that we have many a miles to march before we sleep. And this battlefield we take up, just like any battlefield in American history, Gettysburg, Antigua, even Shiloh, will have casualties. And being the last Black Confederate of Florida, look it up, Google, because he was a Black man, he was a senator, and he did lead Black troops, not for the freedom of the white supremacists, but for the freedom of his people. But this is a part of 365 days a year. The good, the bad, and the ugly. This is your boy, Mr. Political. Not gone, not out, but it's just taking a short break to see the field of battle. And I'm out.
This is LANCESCURV, and I approve this message.
Make sure to check out the boldest blog at LANCESCURV.com and follow SCURV on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under LANCESCURV.
Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition, stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion? Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plainly that before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast, eating juniper roots and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then, following Marco Polo, an explorer, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China, he took silk and gunpowder. From India, he took jute, manganese, and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast, he took barrels of oil untold, raping, robbing, and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So, my friend, it's not hard to tell. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. America, we were living in the East. By the Nile River, we were living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes and slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell. When the white man came to America, he told the Indian, I am your white brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and firewater. Tricks and lies, he stole America. The original owner of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise. On his body put a price. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is a black man hell.